What's up, y'all? Welcome to your weekly slice of the Humble Pie Podcast. I'm your host, Vese Jones.
And I am Nolita, your favorite neighborhood rich auntie. But, Beast, before we get into the mix of things, we got to remind people how they can get their weekly slice,
For sure.
right?
Yes.
Weekly slice, you need to go ahead and click subscribe. They need to click like. They definitely need to share. We need y'all to share these podcasts, these episodes, and you need to leave a comment too.
We appreciate that, man. And before I introduce our guest that you see here today, I just want to let everybody know, man, from last episode, y'all showed up, y'all showed out. We up all things good right now when it comes to the feedback. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate my bro J-Rock for being on last week. We touched a lot of people. We put a lot of information. So, like I told y'all, this year, I'm intentional about getting people on here that can teach us things, that can tell us things, people we can learn from.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah. So today I have a special guest.
Very special.
Someone I've known for 10 plus years. She reached out and she said, "Hey, Levice, we need to help the people." And like I told y'all, the pod is the epicenter for all things good when it comes down to helping people, especially people of color. I'm all for that. So without further ado, Miss Milinia McLaughlin, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
We're going to drop the sound effects for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, Mil, I'm going to give you the floor just to introduce yourself, and then we go from there.
Well, thank you. Again, thank you for having me. I'm Milinia McLaughlin. I'm an independent tax professional who is currently working under D&D Tax Services.
Money, money, money. Money, money, money. Crazy about my money.
Okay, she got the qualifications. Nolita, I missed you.
I miss you too.
Dang.
I ain't seen you since last year.
Right. Happy New Year.
I know. Happy New Year. Literally.
Happy New Year. They tired of seeing my face.
You so silly. They're not tired of seeing your face. I've been seeing your face off and on since 7th grade. So I'm not tired.
True. But check this out. So, I've been getting a lot of feedback from people about a lot of your points from previous episodes and stuff like that. So that's pretty dope. So here she is, y'all. Y'all ain't got to ask about it no more. All right. So we segue. So, Mil, we got a few things we want to tap into, we want to talk to. Maybe something very simple that y'all know it's that time of the year. You filing them taxes. It's W-2 season. It's let my baby daddy scam me out of $5,000 season.
It is.
So today we're going to help you avoid all of that.
Because we want better for you. We want better for you.
We are going to do our best to disable you enablers.
Yes.
Okay? So Mil, we gonna pick your brain a little bit, and I won't profess to act like I know much about taxes, but so I just want to start with something real simple, maybe just some do's and maybe don'ts when filing taxes.
A definite do is to consult with a tax professional, one who will be around 365 days of the year for your tax needs. You want to consult with someone who is going to assist you with financial planning. That's so important. It will increase your return the next year. You also, a big don't, is never provide your information without getting an understanding of what's being entered on your behalf.
So like knowing what they write down.
Absolutely. A professional tax preparer is going to ask you questions because each tax situation is different. You should want to know if it's not a returning client, what their expectations are, as well as what they did the previous year. A big thing that I have been running into is that a lot of people do not know what was entered on their behalf the previous year.
So when that happens, is that because there's just not a proper vetting process of just additional questions, or are people just not reviewing the documents that may have been provided to them? Like, what are you finding as to how that happens?
That's a very good question. Actually, it's a little bit of not being asked questions, not receiving copies of their 1040s.
Oh, wow.
Their tax return in its totality should be provided.
Yeah.
And pretty much just entrusting their livelihood to someone else.
That's what I think.
Crazy.
That's what I think. Like when it come down to filing taxes now, again, y'all, I don't know nothing about nothing for real, because I've probably been that type of person that say, hey, let this person, or like family or something like that, do
Yeah,
my
yeah.
taxes. But I've never really been truly involved in the vetting process or the whole process. Like, all right, when W-2s came, let me take it to Jackson Hewitt, right, back in the day. But
Fold those arms.
right.
Fold those arms.
Right. And I'm sure many of you see that in your feed, starting last month to this month, those preparers showing up on your feed, which is great. Like, we all
Yes.
about supporting it. So we
Yes.
appreciate you, Mill. Like, we appreciate that. But it's some people, I don't care how hard their arms are folded, I ain't letting them file my taxes.
I don't care what suit you got from Burlington Coat Factory. I don't care.
That's Steve Harvey.
I don't care.
You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate, people who are good with numbers
Yes.
and who are honest. Because I think a big part of filing taxes is honesty and integrity in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you this, Mill, about like these plug and play services like TurboTax. And it's just simple yes or no. Are those good things to use, like for people who don't want to actually hire a professional?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You have to pay for your services, but keep in mind that most people who go to Tax Act and H&R Block and online, that is, you're selecting what's free, right? So you don't know about the credits that you may or may not qualify for. So I mean, it's really a fine line. I mean, it's some people who I have consulted with, and I advise them to go to Tax Act or H&R Block. I'm sorry, just because of the amount of taxable income being non and void. Which brings me into another space. You cannot expect to receive a refund if you are not paying your due with your taxes. You have to pay the federal government in order to receive a tax refund.
Can you say that again for the people in the back?
You have to pay your taxes.
Gotta pay 'em.
Listen up, my people.
They coming.
Yes.
The IRNS. So again, because I'm speaking from the ignorant perspective. Ignorant meaning I just don't know. So my questions are going to seem very vanilla, but again, I want to understand things that people run into, or what are like some mistakes people make when filing their taxes. I do recall you saying they don't vet the people right, or they're not getting in touch with their 1040 forms, or they don't know. They just want to know how much I'm getting and when it's going to be in my bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true. Any tax professional should have questions to ask you prior to filing your taxes, because each tax situation is different. I cannot stress that enough. The biggest thing that I have been running across this tax season, and it's still young, so who knows what is to come. Fuel credits. Fuel credits are for farmers. So if you had a fuel credit on your taxes last year and you went through the cracks, meaning that you received your tax return, the IRS has 3 years to audit you.
To come get you.
They have 3 years to audit you. If you had a household income credit on your tax return for last year, you don't qualify for that either. So as a result, everybody is just looking for immediate gratification and big numbers. Everybody wants a max refund. But what did you do to make sure that you're getting that max refund? Our children save us a lot of times, but children don't stay children. So in the past, you may have got, away with a minimal withholdings as far as your federal taxing, because you knew that you were going to have your dependent.
Right.
Well, dependents, the older they get, the less they're worth. So it's so many different factors that go into receiving a healthy tax return, but it definitely starts with you paying 10% of your earnings back in taxes.
Okay.
Just like the word says. The word says it too.
The Bible say pay your attention. Nolita, I know before off camera we was talking about, and I kind of joked at it earlier about some women that may fall into situations.
Oh, yeah. So what, because B said it's that season, what are some like 3 to 5 ways for women to avoid being scammed by somebody who all of a sudden wants to be their boyfriend being scammed out of their return? Like, what are some things that you see and how that happens?
Well, I mean, it all starts with common sense. I'm gonna be honest with you.
She said that's the root. That's
It
the
ain't
root.
so common, trust me.
Ain't that common?
Well, I mean, it's really no defense to that. I mean, each individual, is at liberty to, you know,
Share their money.
share their money with who they want to. Just being honest with you, but if a female is in fear of someone utilizing her as a dependent, she definitely can go to the IRS.gov website and she can get an identity pin. So that way, anytime someone tries to file her social, self included, meaning if she was to go to have her taxes prepared, she would have to have that generated PIN that's provided by the IRS, and each year they are generated a new PIN.
Oh, I heard about that before. I need to get that. I need to get that because I lost my Social Security card, y'all, on the green line, no, on the red line.
That's gone.
Back like when I was like 19, something like that.
That was
And
gone.
bro, somebody
Quick.
probably got me, bro, because they had my social in there, bro. I remember that was tough. So hey, there's only one LaVise Jones, and it's me. You see what I'm saying?
So I got a question for you real quick. So I don't have any children, right? So what are some key things that I should keep in mind when filing my taxes? Earning over a certain amount as a single woman who doesn't have dependents.
Okay. Again, it starts with asking some key questions. Are you the sole provider in your household, meaning that you pay for over 50% of the items that make your household go?
Okay.
That would be one that's important because if you are, then you qualify for a head of household.
Okay.
Not to mention the fact that salary always plays a role. So I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, it's $63,398 is the max that you can make in order to qualify for that particular credit. It's the earned income credit. And that's why I'm all about financial planning as well, because hey, look, we're not out here, being active participants in societal norms to stay behind in regards to our salary, right? So we know that it's a cap. So we have to find other ways and be creative in regards to generating a return.
Yeah.
And that comes with self-employment.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't understand that self-employment doesn't always have to be you being a hairstylist or a barber.
That part.
That's
Shout out
just
to my
real,
barber though.
Yeah, that's just real talk.
Yeah.
What people fail to realize is that outside of Uber and Instacart, if you are a content creator on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok and you receive paychecks, that is a source of income, right?
Oh, yeah.
So as that, so it's generally self-employment. This podcast, self-employment, because it actually require for you to input resources into what you're doing on a daily basis.
Correct.
So that's why it's important to have that professional tax preparer by your side, because not only can they also give you some things to think about for next year tax filing status, but also integrity is everything, because integrity will come into question when you get ready to go and buy that home, because they want to look at your tax returns. So when they look at your tax returns, they're asking you, well, how did you qualify for the household credit credit, and you didn't even know it was on there. You're looking like a deer in headlights at that point. So you can definitely do things legally, and like everybody else do them, except for us, because we're always looking for immediate gratification. And that is one of the main reasons why I became a certified tax preparer, so that I can give back and help us in the midst of helping me.
Money, money, money. Money. Crazy about my money.
Yeah.
So speaking of us, right? We have been in a socio-economic crisis for many years. So the things you are warning our viewers of or and educating them about sounds good, right? It sounds like the right thing to do, the way to go about it. However, hey, I got to get a new car. My kids need clothes.
Yeah.
I got to plan this, that. So you know what? Short-sightedly, some men and women, they file taxes incorrectly, or they have it in a way, like you said, they just trying to get the maximum return. And for me, I can understand that plight. So that's why I want to bring you on here today to let the people know, hey, like there's a right way to go about these things. And these are the things you should be knowing. These are the things you should go about vetting the process. Like I said, for me, this is all new. I haven't filed my own taxes. I've had people file my taxes. I have never done them myself and looked over the numbers. I say, okay, I made that this year, still poor. Okay, all right. So let me turn this into the first person that's doing for me. And oftentimes I ain't getting no return. You know what I mean? So it's like now that you talking about, it's like okay, every year for the last X amount of years, some should be in the black or perhaps the red at some point, because they gonna snatch their money. Like I think, shoot, well that's probably too personal, but yeah, yeah,
You so silly.
it's been a while. It's been a while.
Well, let me just tell you a couple things, right? For one, for men who are unwed but they have children and they're actually taking care of their children and they're paying at least 50%.
Not with the lean and the look.
Right, of their children's needs. That woman is not entitled to claim those children every year. Although you think so because she says that they live in the household. That's not true.
Work?
Not true.
Help me learn
not
that.
True.
Because just say for instance, me, right?
He's like somebody that I know that I see in the mirror.
No, but situations like that, I'm just saying I never knew that. Typically, when you are an unwed man, which I am, you don't file your kids. Just somebody I know. Let's just say, for example, me. You mean to tell me if I'm spending 50%, but how do we determine that percentage? Like, it's not like, parents out here exchanging receipts, or do you keep your own receipt? Like, how do we go about doing what you're saying in that process? Say, yeah, let me file little Pookie and Ray Ray Jr. this year, you file next year. And shout out to all the people that have that have kids and y'all switch years to get the money.
Because how do you split that between the two parents who may be equally contributing?
Right.
Or like, is it a percentage of who does more or?
Well, that's the key. If you're equally contributing to the livelihood of this child, you're both entitled to file. It's better for you guys to work it out amongst yourselves because you can't get the IRS involved. And when you get them involved, it's going to be a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is going to be who makes the most money.
So whoever make the most don't get the money?
No, they get it. They get to file the child.
So it's almost like in co-parenting, you also have to include financial planning as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because to LaVie's point, if Lil Pookie or Ray
Jr.
Because we talk about me for an example, me. But Pookie and Ray Ray.
If they need something, right, and one parent doesn't have it, or generally if you have a successful co-parent plan in place, you are coming together as one anyway, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, I got the shoes last week. You're going to have to get, the uniform this week. So that's you splitting up the need for that child. So it's so many things that we don't know as a people, and we should know, and I don't know if we know, but you pay taxes on cars up front, right? If you go purchase, whether it's a new car or a used car, look at your paperwork from the dealership. It's going to state the amount of taxes that you paid. That's something that you need to tell your tax preparer. However, if you had a professional tax preparer, such as myself, that is something that I would ask you. It's these fact-finding questions to turn over credits for you, which in turn will increase your refund. So it's not magic. It's just knowing the policies and procedures that are in place for the IRS. And if you do not have someone that's educated and who is in turn educating you, then you will continue to either owe the IRS or take chances with paying more than the money that you receive is worth.
Is there software for somebody like Reese, but not him, that for like when there is a co-parenting situation, like software and resources that helps the two people track that spending together?
I'm sure
Kind of like a QuickBooks for
absolutely.
co-parents.
That's exactly what came to my mind first. Is because QuickBooks has been around, rather I should say. No plug to them because I'm not getting any
Right. They ain't
kickbacks.
paying us.
But
Yeah.
but just for example, though, it's one of the oldest, simplest programs or applications that you can utilize.
Okay.
But you don't even need to buy that program. Being honest with you, you can just go into Excel and create a spreadsheet
Okay.
each time you spend
I
something.
ain't, look, y'all, I told y'all I'm gonna be the ignorant one today on the show. I ain't used Microsoft Excel since like 8th grade.
Miss Dickinson taught us how
Shout out
to
Miss
put those
Dickinson, man.
columns.
I probably wasn't paying attention. You know how I was back in the class.
so
Had to do
silly.
an ADD.
You so silly.
Like wasn't paying
You so
attention,
silly.
bro. And now I see that because I wasn't listening, now I don't know how to find my damn taxes. This use Excel.
You so silly.
Damn.
You so silly.
Well, you know what? Honestly, again, if you have a tax preparer that want to see you win, and I want to see everybody win,
Yeah.
that's an easy fix. They can just show you how to set that up. I actually work virtually, all 50 states. However, for the Chicagoland area, I will do, in person
Yeah.
visits.
Okay.
Constant communication, with this technologically suave world that we're living in. We can do Teams, we can do Google. It's so many different platforms that you can utilize just to get you organized.
Yeah.
Organization is definitely the key.
That's what I need for real. So I got a question, right? So what if you work for an employer and you no longer work for that employer, but you need your W-2? But while you was with that employer, you can get that information virtually. But because you're not with them anymore, how do you go about obtaining your W-2s from your previous employer?
Well, it really depends on how you left that employer. So if you left that employer on good terms,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can probably just reach out to HR to first ask them if they have the release the W-2s. If you got friends and you know they're released, sometimes they may or may not. They may make you wait just because of protocol. No, no, just so they can be in compliance with their policies and procedures. You might have to wait on the mail, and they can at least tell you when they were mailed. But make no mistake, though, if you're in need of immediate money, again, I am that professional tax preparer who can come to your aid.
Yeah.
Currently, with just your last check stub, and of course, you would have to have the last check stub from each job that you're no longer on. That you plan to file in this upcoming tax season. But currently, with a 98% approval rate, I can get you up to $6,000 in 24 hours.
Money, money, money. Money, money, money. Crazy about my money.
Oh, Nolita, you got something you say?
Cash advance.
Okay.
Because I done got excited.
No,
real
go
quick.
ahead.
Cash advance.
Go ahead.
So you mean to tell me? And we're going to make sure I promote the company that she works for, although she is an independent tax professional, servicing through D&D
Tax services.
Tax Services. So make sure you need your taxes filed. You need a professional and not your cousin who good with math, but somebody that actually know what they doing.
Yes.
Contact my girl.
You
Bill.
not finna have the people with the little rain jacket coming to knock on your door if you work with her.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So, hey, I'm excited. I feel like I done learned, you know what I'm saying? Because that's really important. I think that a lot of people like myself, we just don't pay attention to the detail. You know what I'm saying? And then as you get older, you look into ownership and home ownership and just starting to own property in
Yeah.
general, you got to have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed.
Yeah.
And taxes, as I've been learning as an adult, outside of credit, is super important to make sure you're paying those.
It really is. I mean, sometimes we all, there's always a lesson before a blessing. So it wasn't by coincidence that I got interested in understanding, the policies and procedures of filing taxes. I too was a victim. So I ended up paying a lot more than what I received
Wow.
from income taxes. So, I mean, it's wonderful when you get the money and it's in your account and you like, I'm going to go buy this and I'm going to go buy that until IRS come knocking on the door. Again, they have up until 3 years from the date that you filed your taxes to come back and audit your taxes. And they can do multiple years. So I think that, in my own opinion, my own personal opinion, that's why they wait a lot of times. Those who do slip through the cracks, you think that you at the finish line and they come with 2 years and 362 days, and, and they're auditing your taxes.
Yeah.
So at that point, not only could they audit the year of, we'll just say hypothetically speaking, we're in 25, not rushing my time, but we're in 2025, and the taxes from 2022, right? So those are the 3 years, and they come right before 25 come in, and they're auditing you. So now they're going to audit 22, 23, and 24.
So with that happens, so somebody like a Wesley Snipes or a Cat Williams, right? We know that they owed millions to the IRS. Do you find that happens because the person is personally irresponsible, or are they trusting people to file taxes that are misfiling? Like, how do you navigate that if you are an independent, talent or business owner, and you do have someone who is, handling your finances? Can you prove that someone mishandled it, or does it still come down to you?
You can absolutely prove it, but at the end of the day, you're given the permission for that individual to sign off on your taxes. So regardless of the fact, you're still going to be liable legally because you are entrusting someone else to take care of your financial responsibility, and in turn, you're signing off on it. So it does not negate you from responsibility, although that individual who prepared your taxes, of course, their integrity is in question, and they don't go unpenalized. So not only do the IRS penalize you, but they would also penalize that business.
Okay.
They can get like sued or something.
Jail time?
Well, I don't know, guys.
She's like, I don't know.
I don't know, guys.
It's a little heavy.
Not tax lawyer.
Well, as far as the IRS is concerned, what I do know for a fact is that whether you are an independent operator, owner, or like myself, I'm considered a contract employee with D&D Tax Services. Not only would I get penalized as far as my preparer tax identification number being probably taken, along with fines, but the company itself will receive fines. And then that gives the IRS room to go in and look at other clients. So if they find other clients were mishandled, then that's more fines.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, we got to blow this whole thing up.
Oh, absolutely.
If y'all did something crooked for this person,
how many other people?
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's federal money at the end of the day. So they got to follow the money.
They'd have to follow the money. And if that owner, operator can be tied or having knowledge of what's going on in their business, then I do know for a fact that is punishable by law.
Oh.
Clink, clink.
Now, I really hope that if you're watching this on your phone, great. But if you are or are not a half, make sure you have a pen and paper.
Yes.
All right. You need to be writing this stuff down. Like, this sounds like some really good information. I'm learning. I know I might have been joking, but I'm low key over here a student right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And again, these are parts of the things that we want to provide for y'all when we give y'all this slice of the humble pie. We're going to give y'all relationship stuff. We're going to give y'all the life stuff, but we also going to give you this stuff to prepare you for your life, or better prepare you going forward in your life.
Because this is a part of being a good steward of just the things that you got to deal with as an adult. So you can't avoid this.
You can't.
You cannot.
And I hate it. So I do have like a couple more questions, Mel.
Sure.
I want to make your brain explode because I know I got maybe a question here. So what are some of the common things that newly married couples, particularly Black, need to know when filing their taxes? So, let's say somebody get married, obviously newlyweds. What are some like things that they need to know when they file their taxes, say that next calendar year after being together? Because like you said, when the man is unwed, just like people always say, "Oh, I'm single until I'm married," right? Because the government recognizes marriage as a contract, as a
It's
real bond.
joining,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So how do a new couple, i.e., if I get married next year or something like that, like how do I go about making sure I'm filing my taxes correctly? What are some things I need to know?
Well, one, it's not illegal to be married and file separately.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Didn't know
not.
that.
I
It
didn't know that.
no, it's not. I mean, it's pros and cons to it. I think one of the biggest pros is being married. You get a bigger deduction as far as your filing status is concerned.
So they take less taxes.
It'll offset
Offset.
your
Okay.
taxable income. So for being head of household, or it's almost like a credit, and that's exactly what it is. It's a credit. So being a married couple that make X amount of dollars, the credit would be larger than you being single filing, or married filing single. I mean, I'm sorry. Than you being married filing separately.
Okay.
Okay.
So okay. I got you. I got you. Lady, you got anything else?
So, how do children come into play with a married couple? So, say somebody like Reese, but not him, like Reese, but not him. But if he gets married and having children, and this other person, if she has children, how does that come into play? Because they're still co-parents outside of the marriage.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, each tax situation is going to be different. So, definitely, if you're married, and maybe your spouse is the breadwinner, and they have a well-to-do salary with businesses, and you are, newly married, and you're not the breadwinner, and your children has helped you out in the past as far as your return is concerned.
Yeah.
That might be something you want to look at as far as filing married but separately.
Okay.
However, if you know that all your children is grown, or you don't have any children, you might be instrumental to saving your husband as far as having a larger deduction, because you guys are filing married. So that way it might increase the overall refund for the household, because if you're married, everything is supposed to be one anyway, right?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't really matter.
What? What you got going on over here?
I done got comfortable
I
because
could
and when we talking about marriage, right? We talking about like joining accounts and not but the joint account, and when the children are involved, I guess I'm just thinking about like how old is too old for you to be filing your kids. Like even if they still living under your roof, like if your kids still living with you, can't you still file them on your tax?
Like what up to what age?
Yeah, what up to what
Yeah.
age?
That is such a good question. And a lot of people don't even think about that, but that's something that I always ask. So it's different scenarios. In order to receive the credit, your child has to be 16 years or under. 16 years or under. 17 years and over, you do not receive that child tax credit for your child. However, there are other benefits. If you have college students and you are, if their permanent resident is with you, and you are paying for more than 50% of their living expenses, you can file them. And when you file them, make sure you ask them for that T98T form, 1098T form. I said T. 1098T form.
That's why my mama needed that. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, she get that credit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
OG said, "Mama, I said hi."
You cannot,
Yes.
you not say hi to my mama.
So this tax year, you can get up to $1,000 with that.
Okay.
So that's one beneficial way, and it's still a dependent. It's just not going to be the big boom that you used to getting for anybody that's 16 years and under. You will still get, some credit for that individual.
A couple dollars.
A couple dollars is more than no dollars.
In that part.
So, Mil, I need you to toot your horn real quick. I need you to, in the best way you can, sum it up for us. Why should people file their taxes with you? This is your pitch.
Yes.
This is your opportunity. Why should they come to Milinia McLaughlin?
Because it's clear to us.
Right, because she definitely
clear.
filed mine. I don't know. I decided 20 minutes ago. When she started talking about you can get with your job and all that, yeah. But seriously, though, like, let the people know. Get them a reason, because I hopefully, we send you some clients. This is, you know what I'm saying? What is something I need you to pitch it to the folks why they should file with you?
Well, not only am I due diligence certified with the IRS, but anything that I decide to be a part of, I learn my craft. My goal is to help people that look like me to get ahead, despite the societal norms that are in place. A lot of times we fall into stigmas, and I want those stigmas to be fully rejected, and I want to educate individuals. I truly believe reach one, teach one. And somebody reached me and taught me to how to better understand the different policies and procedures and how you can legally get around certain avenues of tax returns. There are so many different credits that we qualify for that we do not know about. There are so many things that are not being asked of you. Those are things that you can guarantee. I love fact-finding sessions, right? Because I want to get to know the individual that I'm dealing with. I deal with integrity, and in turn, that's what I want. I want clients of integrity because that creates longevity, and we can work together for financial building for years to come so that you can get what you want. It's not hard to be self-employed. There are so many different opportunities out here, and some of you guys are probably self-employed, like I explained earlier, and don't even know it. So I'm the girl that's going to ask those fact-finding questions to get you the max return that you need legally. I'm going to be around 365 days of the year for any tax concerns or questions. Even when you're in the process of planning for the future, if you have questions in regards to your deductions, or if you're looking to make that special big purchase, what you should or shouldn't do. I can tell you right now, the last thing you should do is do tax exempt. I know we always look forward to bonuses and Christmas. Was it Christmas bonus?
Christmas
We
bonus.
used to go exempt.
Definitely did.
We used to go exempt, like constantly. Like did y'all change y'all W
Right, did y'all-
scores?
Facts.
Because
You
you're going to
right.
have to pay that back.
You
Do
gonna
you?
have to,
Yeah.
yeah, but it
Somebody I
wasn't
know, not me.
well,
He's so silly.
at the time, you want it all, but
Yeah.
then when January, February roll around, you still want it all, but you didn't do the right thing to get it all.
Yeah.
Please don't do it. The little $1,500 or $1,000 or whatever they're gonna take out of that bonus, you're gonna get it back twofold when tax season rolls around.
So if you ain't convinced now to let me do your taxes, you deserve to give,
Them
But
people
I
going to call
appreciate
you.
it.
The
Yeah.
people going to call
Yeah,
you.
they're going to be knocking on your door. Hey, this been great.
It's been amazing. I learned so much.
My brain finna explode.
You're so silly.
It might be a small explosion, but it's
You're
still
so
gonna
silly.
explode.
Stop it. You're so silly.
But thank you, Mill.
Thank you
I
so much.
I really,
appreciate
really,
you.
really,
You
really
did-
appreciate you guys.
You did amazing.
Yes.
Well,
yes,
thank
yes,
you, thank
yes.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, just for those who are interested, I did consultations, but I will entertain questions if you have any. If you are still indecisive, I can be reached at 708-920-2630. Or you can email me at milinia.mclaughlin@gmail.com. And I know that's a lot to digest, so just look me up on social media. I am on the gram. I'm also on Facebook as myself, Milinia McLaughlin, or on the gram, I am Miss Mac,
Miss Mac.
0326.
And Vese will put it
Yeah,
somewhere
all that.
here
Yeah.
at the bottom of the
It'll
screen.
be all
Yes.
over there creatively.
Yes. Y'all can take a screenshot.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
don't panic. All right, Nolita, anything you got?
Just stay tapped in with your girl. I'm still the favorite neighborhood rich auntie, still
Yeah.
acting, working corporate America, and trying to keep my nerves intact, all in the same breath. So find me at the Mona Lita on all platforms.
Nolita, appreciate it. Y'all know who I am. It's Vese. Peace.
Bye.
Money, money, money. Money, money, money. Crazy about my money.